Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to be taking you through my plants once again. My last video you guys all seem to really like, so this will just be a mid-fall update on my plants. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. Okay, so a lot of my plants are just doing super well. I did end up getting a new pilea. A lot of you guys said I was overwatering it and I just didn't really know how to take care of it, and it was at a point where there was really no coming back. So I almost bought another one where I got the first one for $25. It was a Saturday, I didn't make it there, but I ended up going to Trader Joe's that evening and finding one for $8. So I was like, thank God I didn't make it to go get one where I got the first one. So I did get one at Trader Joe's for $8. Again, I had it over at the TV area and some of the big leaves were falling off because it was super full, and I was like, why can't I keep one of these things alive? I've since moved it to the one of my little coffee tables, and it's doing so well. Out of the big leaves that it came with, 3 of them did remain, and at the top, so many new ones are growing. I have 5 new little leaves growing, and it's just doing so well, and it loves it on my coffee table, and every few days I do turn it, that way it can grow full in all directions. And the first plant that I got from my apartment has been growing so much. I have it over by my big window, and the part next to the window was growing so fast, and I love using it for all my Instagram posts when I want to show you what I'm eating. So to even it out, I have turned it just 180 degrees to where now one of the shorter sides is facing the window, so hopefully they can all grow a little bit more evenly. Since it was the first plant I got and I moved in almost like a month or almost a year ago now, the soil was a little bit dry, but I didn't want to repot it, but I did get new potting soil for my Monstera, so I mixed some of that in there and just gave it some fresh soil as well as a little bit of fertilizer just to keep it really healthy. And now the plant I've been struggling with, which makes me so sad because it's easily one of my favorites and it's so big and so full and so beautiful, my Monstera. My Monstera came in an orange just plastic pot that kind of went a little up, so it was kind of shaped to where it went a little wide at the top, and I had it in a white ceramic pot on the little stand and it looked beautiful. I cut this out of my last video just because it was getting super long, but I went to Europe for a few weeks in June and my dad only met us there for half of it, so I gave my dad very detailed instructions on how to water my plants, and he went literally a few days after I left, and I had just watered them before I left. So he went a few days after. I was like, it's too soon. So he's like, no, it's okay. I'll check on them again right before I leave, which ended up being a few days after that. So then when I finally got back, because then he watered them again when he got back before us, they were just so overwatered. They were all sitting in water, and it really affected my Monstera. So I took it out of the white pot because that was just keeping water, like stagnant water at the bottom. So I took it out of that to kind of dry out and do its thing. When that happened and the dirt dried out, the orange pot just kind of got a little bit wider, I think just because it expanded more. So when I tried putting it back in the white pot, once it was all better, it wasn't fitting. So I was like, okay, I'll just get a new one. So I bought a new black pot to repot my Monstera in that would fit perfectly in the white ceramic one. When I did that, I also got a new stake because to me, it seemed as if the wood stake that was in there originally looked a little bit rotting, which as I repotted it, I realized it wasn't at all. So I didn't really have to do that, which was one of my mistakes. And I also, when repotting it, didn't have any new dirt with me. So I went outside with my new pot in the Monstera in the old pot and repotted it. And because it was a little bit shaped wider at the top, knocked some dirt off and then repotted it and gave it a new stick. So because it was repotted and had a new stick, it was very unsturdy, and there also wasn't a lot of dirt in there. We lost some dirt when repotting it, so it wasn't the most sturdy environment. So that was mistake 1. Not the repotting it, that was fine. I think just giving it the new stake and repotting was just too much for it to handle. And to keep it stable, around my apartment are these like little rocks. So I grabbed a few and I put them at the base of the root and the stake. That way the aerial roots would go to that stake as it was with the one previously. And that way the soil would just get packed down a little bit. That way it would all be in there very sturdy. And then a few days later, which I should have waited like a week or so, I also shouldn't have put the rocks on there in the first place, but because I did, and then I watered it a few days later and left the rocks on there, it kept the moisture in there. And after a few days, I noticed the leaves started yellowing. I had to cut some off because they were just dying every which way, which was making me so sad. And I removed the rocks and realized that the soil was still moist, and I was like, I just chopped so much water in this plant. I'm ruining it. And about a week ago today, I was like looking closer at it and cutting off another dead leaf, and I noticed that one of the main trunks from the bottom had root rot. And it's just like, oh, like I did this to myself. If I hadn't rechanged the stake when repotting it, if I had fresh dirt, if I didn't do the stupid thing of putting the rocks on top, like it could have been saved, like so many things, like it would have been so much healthier. But I did those things and I can't go back in time. So I just have to live with it and I have to fix it. And that is what I did the other night. I actually did it on Halloween, and I wanted to film the repotting with you guys, and I didn't do it outside because it was late and it was at night, so I actually just did it here in my living room. I laid down some trash bags and put the other one like in a trash bag, so there was like no dirt mess. It was great. I was gonna show it to you guys, but since it was Halloween, I was Nancy Kerrigan, so it was either gonna be me with like my dry mascara tears dripping down or no makeup at all, neither of which I really wanted to shoot. So I'm just updating you now a few days later. But I got fresh dirt. I didn't have time after work to stop by Home Depot because I wanted fresh potting soil, I wanted perlite, I wanted peat moss, everything that online was saying I wanted to get. Didn't have time for that, so I just ordered it on Amazon. I'll link down below the dirt that I got. Since it was Amazon Prime, I got it in like 2 days. And this dirt has its potting soil, and it's the perlite, and it's the peat moss, and I think there might be like a little bit of fertilizer in it. So I got that, as well as like some fertilizing like powder from somewhere that I'll show you guys. So I got that, it came in on Wednesday, and I repotted my plant. And since there was a lot of dirt and it's all fresh and it's all moist, I haven't watered it since, but I did take off all the dirt from the roots, cut off the one with root rot and like get rid of that, got rid of the one with root rot. So it was only one main root. A lot of the other ones were very, very fine still. So got rid of that, everything that was connected to all the dirt around it, and repotted it with the stick that I had put in last time. So that's repotting. I haven't put it back in the white ceramic pot yet because I just want to make sure that it's growing, and I want to make sure that it's very safe and happy in its new little home with its fresh dirt. So I want to make sure that it grows before I put it up in the ceramic thing. So what I did with the leaves that had the root rot, the leaves and most of the roots were still very fine. It was just like the bottom half, the bottom part that had root rot. So I cut that off, got rid of that, and the leaves, they still had aerial nodes, and that overall those 2 leaves were actually very healthy, which is weird for them being the ones with the root rot. So I took those out and I tied up all the other branches, like retied them to the stick, and hopefully those will grow. And then these 2 leaves, which one was like the main top beautiful leaf, so now it's just like, after cutting them off and taking those 2 out, it's so much less full, which is crazy because of, it was already like a pretty good size when I got it, and just like over the last few months of having it, it had grown so much. It had so many fresh new leaves, like baby leaves were popping up all the time. And for all that progress and all of that, just for me to like ruin it in such stupid ways, so upsetting. But anyway, I took those 2 leaves off and I have them in a container with fresh water. I run my water through my Brita, and I'll be changing out that water every 2 days. Today's actually been 2 days since I did that. So I'll be showing you just refilling the water and making sure it's fine, and the aerial roots are in the water, and they say it takes a couple months for roots to grow out of those little aerial nodes. So hopefully that happens within the next few months, and I can propagate it and put that in fresh dirt. So I'm just gonna show you the dirt that I got and just watering my plants, and I'll show you guys my Monstera and give that a little update. So I was doing a bunch of research on what kind of potting soil I should get and what kind of things I should get. So I had this whole list, but when I go to Home Depot, and I just never made it, and I didn't want to go there after work because it's not like the greatest area, and I'm like a girl showing up to Home Depot, like no. So I figured I'll just order it on Amazon because that's where I get everything else, especially with Prime, like free like 2-day shipping or 1-day shipping. So I got some dirt, came in a box, which I was actually wondering like, how is this dirt gonna show up on my doorstep? Is it just gonna be like, here's a bag of dirt with like a tracking thing on it? Came in a box, and it was in a package, and then a zip up package inside of that. So it is just organic potting mix, fully enriched blend for all potted plants. Very moist. When I put it in the Monstera, I was like, I don't even need to water it like right away because there's so much moisture in it, and it just seems so healthy. And hopefully it just allows my Monstera to just grow back to health and grow back to life. and it's do so well, and hopefully the roots and everything kind of stay in there. That way it can stay sturdy again, since it was so sturdy with the original stick in the original pot, and because I made it unsturdy by repotting it and giving it new stick, then I put rocks in there. That's how the whole situation happened. So hopefully this just like solves the problem, and I honestly should have gotten this in the first place. When I first repotted it, I probably wouldn't have had the problem that I did, because I probably wouldn't have put rocks on. There's just so many smarter things I could have done. But again, can't change the past, trying to fix for the future, and this so far is doing very well. Okay, now since I'm not like a plant expert, I do turn to the internet for some help a lot of the times. And for propagating Monstera, it does say to change out the water that it's in every few days just to keep it healthy and happy. But let me just show you the root. Since it was one of the tall, long ones, in fact, this one was the one at the very top of the plant, it does have a very long stem, which is why I have it in this OXO container. This is like a pasta one, but since I'm not a big pasta gal, I don't really use it for anything, so that's the perfect use is for this, I suppose, because it is so long. And down here is one of the aerial nodes, as well as up here, so I didn't want to like trim this and lose out on the aerial node, but I will be switching out the water now. Now, to make sure that the water is just clean and not just straight from the faucet, I did put it in my Brita. And I'm filling it up pretty high because I do want both aerial nodes to be in the water. So now they're both in there, and I'm just gonna put it back over by the main Monstera because that is a spot that gets really good sunlight. So that's where the other one thrived as it was growing before I screwed it up. So I figured that's where it will continue to thrive, as well as this one. And again, I'll be changing out the water every couple of days just to make sure that it's fresh and that it is a very healthy little stem. And now that that is done, I'm just gonna quickly water all of my other plants and use some of the Miracle Grow all-purpose plant food. It's a powder, it's water soluble. On Amazon, it just was like other things you may be interested in. So I was like looking at this, or one that's like a little stick that you put in the plant. I just thought this would possibly last me a little bit longer, and especially since I have so many plants, it'll be able to go through all of them. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm just gonna water my plants really quickly. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more and just stay updated with my propagation, then head over to my Instagram at @lowwithoutlimits. I'll be posting about it every few days on my stories there if you want to keep updated. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you want to see more of on my channel, or if you really like this video. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.